Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Botch and Bitter is still begging for $4 million, okay? The funds are running low. It was reported that Botch and Bitter wants the millions Tasha K owes her, okay? She is not buying that Tasha is broke or has filed bankruptcy, and she is offering a judge evidence Tasha is stashing money to avoid paying up. Ł0Ŷ's attorney filed documents in Florida in regards to Tasha's bankruptcy. Botch and Bitter's attorney are alluding that Tasha has offshore accounts. Cardi says that she got offshore accounts in the Cook Islands, Nevis, and in Georgia. The country, not the state, okay? Now, here's my thing with Botch and Bitter, okay? You still begging for $4 million? Ain't you supposed to be one of the richest female rappers out, you claim? To me, it seems like Botch and Bitter is going broke. You still begging for $4 million from a blogger? I mean, that just gives thirsty. How long this lawsuit been going on? This lawsuit been going on since 2020, and you ain't getting no money, and you still begging for it. Desperation. Let it go, okay? I don't understand. If you so rich, why do you need the $4 million? It's not the principle behind it. You're going broke. You don't have the money. Let's be very clear. I don't believe nobody that is constantly begging a blogger for $4 million or $3.4 million, it has money. I don't care what nobody says. Reason why is because the money you spend on your lawyers probably more than the $4 million. Because them lawyers that Cardi B got ain't cheap. So I know she probably spending a coin on them lawyers. It's going to add up to be more than $4 million by the time she thinks she gets the $4 million from Tasha. And the thing is, I don't even think that Tasha got $4 million. I think she might got 1. I think she may got 1.5. I definitely don't think she got more than 2. No shade. I don't think she got $4 million cash liquidated. And I think also that because Tasha K is a black woman, Botch and Bitter is going to make her suffer. Because we already know how she feels about black women. Yeah, she attaches herself to black women like Megan and Stark Criminal and Gorilla Glue, but she really don't like black women like that. She's a cultural vulture. Now, moving on to Doja Cat. Doja Cat and Kung Fu Kenny are the only 2 rappers to achieve multiple solo top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 this year. Doja Cat had 2. I don't know which songs. I'm guessing it's The Town Is Dead and Agora Hills, okay, because I don't know what else she dropped. She ain't dropped nothing else. And as we know, Kung Fu Kenny dropped GNX, and he had, I think it was 7 songs in the top 10. And then also Not Like Us and Euphoria went top 10. So congratulations to the King of Rap and the Princess of Rap, okay? They are still dominating, and hopefully they can keep it up in 2025. Now, moving on to Nicki Minaj. The snakes are coming out to apologize. Okay, the tables are turning. BR0KØ, the colorist, Mena, decided to do an interview. And of course, now she want to be Team Nicki now that Rainforest has dumped her and left her a baby mama of 2. Okay, even though technically she got 3 kids, they only have 2 together.
I found out he was cheating on me the first time ever, and he was going to Chinese parlors.
Well, didn't Nicki Minaj say that he was paying for with her credit cards?
Before we get into that, I owe her the biggest apology. I owe her an apology because, like a lot of us women tend to do when we don't know any better, especially when we're hard, deep, wrapped, warped into the love bombing phase, is the red flag that us women tend to ignore when a man sits there and talks to you
Love bombs
about his ex and all the things she did to him. It's funny how life comes full circle because the same thing he did to her, he's doing to me years later. I remember him pouring his heart out to me about all the stuff she did to him, showing me videos of her reacting. And at the time, I didn't think to ask, well, what did you do to her?
Why does this man always have videos of these women reacting?
Exactly. And now, mind you, this is a video he was at one point going around. I found out later on, he was going around the industry showing to like around the time he was trying to bring her down when he was lying to people saying that he wrote for her, like literally saying whatever he could to like kind of ruin her career and take her credibility for her real hard-earned work. I owe this woman an apology because I sat there and allowed him to talk about her to me. From that came me saying things and like defending and vouching for him and speaking up on her in a way that was tacky, because at the end of the day, I didn't know the truth, especially not the truth that I know now. A lot of women do that. They get caught up with a man and he's so good to you that you allow him to gossip to you about his ex.
You get manipulated.
And they never tell you what they did. They just tell you what they did and how crazy she is and she did this and she did that. But it comes full circle. Tables always turn. Everything she has ever said about him is true.
Nah. Nope. You got to stay on that side, Erica Mena, the colorist. Okay? See, I remember you getting videos and photos out of Safari's phone. Maybe he just showed you. Who knows? Because he is a snake. Of Nicki Minaj. And you was trying to give them to the blogs. I remember that. Okay? But I'm not really shocked. Rainforest is a master manipulator and a habitual liar. Okay? And to be quite honest, you know, you can kind of tell that Rainforest is terrible in relationships. And I think the main issue with Rainforest is that he doesn't have a career of his own, so he has to attach himself to women that he deems as more successful or has clout. Okay? Nicki Minaj has more success than him, so of course he was going to tag along for 13 years and bring nothing to the table. Okay? Erica Mena had the clout from Love and Hip Hop, so of course he was going to attach himself to her. And then, you know, he did the same thing with Dream Doll. Okay? So at the end of the day, I don't really feel bad for Erica Mena, the colorist, because I feel like you knew he was no good. I mean, what somebody does to somebody else in a relationship, they can easily do it to you. You think you above it because you Latina? I don't think so. So, Erica Mena, your apology not accepted. Well, maybe Nicki Minaj will accept it, but I sure damn wouldn't. Okay, so let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, let's go over the best and worst female rap and male rap albums of 2024. Okay? Now, for best rap or mixtapes of 2024, I gotta give it to Gorilla Glue and JT. They was beefing. They was throwing shots. But JT's mixtape, I don't care what nobody says, was one of the best mixtapes for a female rapper of 2024. And Gorilla Glue's album was fire. Okay? I don't know which album I like more. At first, you know, I was like, you know, JT, she killing it for me. But then it's like, I still be listening to Gorilla Glue's album too. I listen to both. They both in my playlist. I got Red Flowers in my playlist. I got Procedure by Gorilla Glue and Scratch Off in my playlist. And How I Look featuring Megan is also a bop. Okay? And then JT Coming is also definitely a bop. The only reason why Gorilla Glue is selling more than JT is because she's getting a bigger push. Let's be very clear. But JT be putting out bops. Okay was a bop. The OK remix featuring Jeezy was a bop. No Bars was a bop. So I feel like they equally stepped up to the plate. I don't know who should get the number one spot. Let me know who you guys think should get the number one spot for best rap album by a female rapper. Should it be JT or Gorilla Glue? I might have to give it to Gorilla Glue because JT low-key said that hers was a mixtape. So it can't be an album if you call it a mixtape. Then I'm going to be in my unbiased bag, okay, and give Scratch Off runner-up for best female rap album of 2024. Okay? So, I don't think it was better than Gorilla Glue's or JT's. But, she technically in third place because JT technically second. So, you in third place. Now, she was one of the biggest flops of the year. Unfortunately, JT, in my opinion, made more noise and charted more than Scratch Off this year. Let's be very clear and honest. Okay, debut at number 86. Okay. Or number 90. Scratch Off can't even chart to the 90s. And she under RCA the colorist and she light skinned. So that's not my problem though. No shade to Scratch Off. She gotta step it up. And then in fourth place goes to D0JA. Okay. Now you might be wondering why wouldn't she be number one? I feel like D0JA has bops, but on this mixtape, which it wasn't an album, so unlike other publications, I'm not gonna give her first place. But I will say that D0JA, I feel like she didn't have a lot of bops on her mixtape. No shade. She had a lot of bars, but it wasn't bops. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't stuff like you can really dance to or that you might want to just cruise and listen to in a car for me. I like Nissan Altima, but it's like I don't really go back to listen to that song often. And that's probably why it sold 11,000 first week. But D0JA has talent. But it wasn't bops on this mixtape. It was, a lot of bars. And that's great, but we need bops and bars. And then for me, who had the worst album for a female rapper this year was Megan. Megan's Act 1. Act 2 was a little bit better. Act 2, she had more bops, but Act 1 was terrible. Oh my goodness. That Megan album probably is the worst album in her discography. Okay? And I blame Piss. She thought the hype from Piss was really going to take her over to that next level. And it didn't. Okay? I don't listen to anything from Act 1. Bigger in Texas is a bop, but, that's on Act 2. Act 1, Megan was trash. Okay? No shade. Now, let's move on to the male rappers. Who had the best male rap album of 2024? Kung Fu Kenny. Let's be clear. It is Kung Fu Kenny. Let's be very clear. It's number one is going to be Kung Fu Kenny. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts. Okay, who had the best year for male rap? Kung Fu Kenny. Number 2, I would say Metro and Future. Both albums, I only like the first one. The second album was kind of mid. But their first album, We Don't Trust You, was fire. Okay? Then Schoolboy Q's Blue Lips also was a boppity bop. Okay? I feel like a lot of people slept on Schoolboy Q this year, but his album was fire. And then, I also got to give props to Big Sean. A lot of people was hating on Big Sean's album, but I did like his album, especially the single Yes. Yes was a bop, okay, for me. For worst albums of, 2024 for a male rapper, I'll be honest with you. I hate to say it. I might have to give that to Tyler, the Creator. I think he's a little bit overhyped. I didn't really get the hype around his album at all. I think a lot of his bars were mid. That's just me. I don't know. I don't get into Tyler the Bottom Feeder like that. That's y'all. That's not me. I don't know. I just feel like I can't really get into him like that. Now, moving on from that. Oh my goodness. This gotta be a humiliation ritual. This can't be real. Mufasa, the Lion King, didn't quite meet box office expectations, with the major motion picture only racking in $35 million opening weekend against an almost $300 million production and marketing budget. Oh my goodness. No, not Blue Ivy flopping already. This can't be right. What? Only $35 million? Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so embarrassing. They couldn't lie about the stats. Oh my goodness. She's supposed to be taking Queen Bee's spot. What is going on here? I blame Camel Face. Camel Face will be receiving Donkey of the Day. He ruined Blue Ivy's big debut performance for a high budget movie because of his R cases. That's exactly what happened. This is not Blue Ivy's fault. This is not Queen B's fault. This is Camel Toe's fault. See, I knew he was going to do this. This is why I said, Queen B, you got to leave him. He's going to ruin Blue Ivy's career. $35 million on a Disney film for opening weekend? Come on now. Like, oh my goodness. Why didn't y'all go and support? Y'all support everybody else. Y'all supported Wicked. Y'all didn't support this. Like, come on. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I don't even want to discuss this anymore. Now, moving on from that, Payola Board come to the front of the congregation. So, Payola Board's greatest pop stars of 2024, Kung Fu Kenny at number 1, Sabrina Carpenter at number 2, Chappelle Roan the Clown at number 4, Charlie XCX at number 5, Queen Ari at number 6, Queen B at number 7, Pose Culture Vulture Malone at number 8, Big Billy at number 9, and Jelly Roll at number 10. Okay? Now, a lot of people are wondering how Kung Fu Kenny got the number 1 spot. I think this was a sabotatory move. Yes, Kung Fu Kenny had the best year in 2024 for any artist. Let's be very clear. For a pop star, rapper, any artist, he had the best year. But he's not a pop star. And y'all trying to be funny. You know he's the king of rap. Stop it. Put some respect on this man's name. Pop stars have multiple writers. Kung Fu Kenny don't. Stop trying to box him in with Champagne Thickums. Champagne Thickums is a pop star because he don't write his raps, and most of his hit records he's singing. It's not like that for Kung Fu Kenny. Okay? Let's be very clear. But there's a big but. Remember when I was calling Kung Fu Kenny the Beyonce of rap? And y'all was saying, oh, that's not true. Well, wasn't Queen B called one of the greatest pop stars of all time by Payola Board? And now Payola Board said the greatest pop star of 2024 is Kung Fu Kenny. So I was right the whole time. I tried to give y'all the memo. Y'all didn't want to listen. But the proof is in the pudding. I told y'all he was the Beyonce of rap, and y'all didn't want to listen. But now he's one of the greatest pop stars of 2024. See how that happens? Now, speaking of Kung Fu Kenny, SZA and Kung Fu Kenny's Dirty for 30 has reached number 1 on U.S. Apple Music, despite all the Christmas music wrongfully being on top of the charts. Okay? I like 30 for 30, but it ain't better than Luther, in my opinion. I don't think 30 for 30 is better than Luther. I think that Kung Fu Kenny had the better collaboration on his album. I do like 30 for 30, but to me, it's not better than Luther. Okay? No shade. I think Kung Fu Kenny finessed SZA and got the better collaboration out of those two, in my opinion. Payola Board announced, Crybaby as one of the best songs, or the best song on SZA's SOS Deluxe. I'm going to say no, it's not the best song. No. I think the best song is Kitchen. Okay? Or Diamond Boy. That could be another good song. Maybe top 5 for me. But I don't think Crybaby is the best song on the Lana Deluxe. Okay? I don't think so. I'm going to have to disagree with that, Payola Board. Now, Musty Walker come to the front of the congregation. She puts out a second video for A Heart of a Woman, okay? Because the first video, she had the 2 Love Island winners on or in the music video, okay? Cordell and Serena. So, for whatever reason, even though the song is flopping, she decides to put out another music video, which absolutely makes no sense, instead of just going to the second single. Just dumb, delusional. And then she got Bottom Bussy and Ł0Ŷ Choppa in the music video like he's some sort of sex symbol. Who the hell want to see him with his shirt off caressing you? Okay? Not me. Okay? This video was a chop. Okay? Just like this single. Why couldn't you get Michael B. Jordan or Keith Powers? N.O.E. Chopper is the best you can do. Okay, I don't really think a lot of women find him sexy. No shade. I will say any normal woman wouldn't find him sexy. You know, if you wanted to create, you know, a love story or have a guy that has some sex appeal, you should have called out Michael B. Jordan. I know he don't really like black women like that, but it's acting. So I'm sure he would have pretended. Or Keith Powers, you could have called up him. Who else could she? Damson Idris would have been a really good person to call, but N.L.E. Chopper, that's a chop, that's a flop. I mean, nobody even takes him seriously, like, at all. I would have preferred anybody instead of him. Wag Harlow wasn't available. I mean, this to me was just a chop. I thought it was a stupid video, and it was just awkward. I don't even feel like she would even go for N.L.E. Chopper, the bottom pussy. No woman that has any logical sense taking that man seriously. I mean, you might as well got Ray J. He's a joke, too. This was just embarrassing, Musty Walker. I have to give you Donkey of the Day. And stop wasting your label's money. Because why put out a second video if the first one kind of flopped? That doesn't make any sense. So, Donkey of the Day to Musty Walker, and that's on that. Now, moving on to Mariah the Scientist, you will be receiving Donkey of the Day, too. Okay? So, there was a jail call that leaked where Mariah's man, Thugger, was seen talking to a woman, and she was saying, oh, you know, I want you, the only person I want right now. She was crying, and he received some backlash. Now, of course, this dumbass man come on to X and says, I can have that little ish right now if I wanted it. But she been pushing P harder than Edwards. That's the twin. I got who I want, okay? I don't feel like that was an appropriate response. I'd rather him say nothing. Saying that you could have this little ish right now if you wanted to means that you are a serial cheater, okay? As Mariah the Scientist probably knows. My whole thing with Mariah is this is why you should not be waiting for no jailbirds, you know, when they're in the clink. This is exactly why. Okay, so you're receiving Donkey of the Day. You have the worst roster. Okay, first Lil Yachty, Twizzler hair, and now Thugger. Them niggas is ugly. You don't have no good looking men on your roster. Okay, but I know the next single finna be fire. So I'm here for the cheating and him doing her dirty because I know the music gonna be fire. Now moving on from that, moving back on to Nicki Minaj. Variety journalist D0JA Garcia has named Nicki Minaj's Bigfoot the worst song of 2024. Allegedly, she is a Megan Thee Stallion fan, so that's probably why she named, you know, the worst song of 2024. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Okay? But anyway, I got some hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description, and have a great day.